Good morning, boys and girls. I'm glad you joined us today for Sunday School, Sunday, November 14th. Again today, we're hearing a story from the book of Exodus. Exodus is located in the Old Testament part of the Bible, and it is the second book. The title of our story today is called The 10 Commandments. The Israelites were not only learning how to trust God, but they were learning how to trust and be in community with the people they were living with. Remember, trust is our faith word this month. Let's listen to God's words from Exodus, chapter 19, verses 1 through chapter 20, verses 21. We find them in our Bible. Here are God's words. The Israelites traveled through the wilderness. While they were in the wilderness, God provided for them. The people came to a big mountain. The Israelites set up their camp at the base of the mountain, and God said, "Come to the top of the mountain, Moses." Moses went to the top of the mountain. While Moses was on the mountain, God gave the people special rules to follow called the commandments. God's commandments were meant to help the people live happy and healthy lives with one another. God shared the special rules with the people. God's special rules are found in Exodus chapter 20, and here they are. The first 4 rules talk about our relationship with God. Number 1, there is only one God. Number 2, worship only God, make no idols. Number 3, use God's name with deep respect. That means special meaning. Number 4, remember the day of rest. And then the next 6 are about our relationships with others. So here they are. Honor your parents. Do not kill. Always love the person you marry. Do not take what doesn't belong to you. Do not tell lies about others. Do not want what belongs to others. Those were God's 10 commandments that he gave to Moses. Now, let's listen to Samuel talk more about trust in our Bible story today.
Hey friends, it's Samuel. As kids, I feel like we have so many rules. Don't do this, don't do that. There are rules at school, rules for driving, and even rules for sports. But now that I think about it, even though there are a lot of rules, the best ones help us live well together in peace and in harmony. Without the rules of my baseball team, it would be really hard to play the game. We would just run around without any direction. Without traffic signs, cars might crash. And without rules at school, we might not be able to learn all the important things teachers have to teach us. Good rules mean that we can all feel loved and safe. This Bible story is about God giving us rules for living. Moses was leading the Israelites in the desert when God invited him to come up to the top of a mountain. Moses climbed to the top to have a talk with God and to hear what God had to say. He knew trusting and following God would help him lead the best way he could. When God started to speak, God gave him a list of rules for living well together. They were written on stone so that the Israelites wouldn't forget them. These rules are known as the 10 Commandments. These rules help us to live in healthy relationships with each other and God. Sometimes rules can feel like they are in the way, but good rules, like God's rules, actually help us to live more freely together. In my Sunday school classroom, my teacher asked us to come up with some class rules. At first, we didn't want any rules, but as we talked more, my teacher helped us to see that the rules we created would make the space even more fun because everyone would be safe and respected. We came up with a list and followed it together as a class. My favorite one is that we would listen to each other when we talk. This means that no one could yell over anyone else, and everyone was heard. When we realized that the rules helped us, it was easier to see them as a gift from God. Sometimes it seems like we have a lot of rules, but they are here to help us. We can trust that God's rules are important and helpful, and that's something to celebrate. Now, it's your turn to wonder.
In our video, Samuel reminded us about how rules are important and can help us live in peace and harmony with one another. They also can help us feel loved and safe. God called Moses up to Mount Sinai to give him those 10 rules for the Israelites to follow. These rules are gifts from God to help us. We call these rules the 10 Commandments. And remember, the first 4 rules are instructions to us on how to live in a relationship with God. And the following 6 rules are how to live in a relationship with others. Go look them up and read it, the 10 Commandments in Exodus chapter 20. And then I want you to wonder about this question. Is there a rule that you would have had God include in the 10 Commandments? Think about it. Let's close with a prayer, boys and girls. Dear God, help us learn to follow the rules you gave us in the 10 Commandments so that we can live in a trusting and loving relationship with you and with others. Amen. Bye-bye, boys and girls.